Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live session. Today we are talking about the IELTS. So all of you who have been asking me what are the tips of writing the IELTS exam. I have someone. She has written the IELTS just recently, and she is like my expert. She's going to bring us with lots and lots of information regarding IELTS exam. Well, now, let's first of all talk about the IELTS exam. What is IELTS exam? This is like the English proficiency requirements that most schools here in Finland and across the world they kind of require this in as a way to prove that you can speak English. So I I thought that it would be good to bring up someone who has written the exam, who can share her experience and also tips on how she prepared for the exam and all those things. So I'm not going to talk much. I'm going to let her bring her to stage, and she is going to tell us all about first of all herself, and then we move into the topic for the day. So here she comes. Yes,
Hi,
welcome. Hello, welcome to this platform. Maybe you start by telling us who you are, and then we continue from there.
hello. Good day, everyone. I'm Miss Jennifer Raffel. Uh, I've been okay. Recently, I've been trying to get my documents together to apply for the Finland application that's upcoming, and I've been getting guidance too from Mr. Carlton. So that's it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Just like like she said, oh, like you are saying, so you are also seeking to get admission here in Finland, and so you watching, you are not the only one. There are lots and lots of people out there. So I think this advice is going to be helpful. That's why I spoke with her, and she accepted to come and share her experience. So tell us a little bit. Let's go into the topic, the IELTS exam. A lot of people don't know about it. How many sections are there? And just tell us about the sections, and then we'll continue also from there.
Okay. So basically, the IELTS exams, there are different types depending on what you really want to use the exams for. There's the IELTS general and then the academics. But maybe we concentrate on the academics since everyone wants
Yeah.
to use it for the school application and it's mostly what they demand. So basically, there's also an option of either you do a computer-based test or you do the written one. Most people always opt for the written one. If you're good in typing or you're fast in typing, then you can go for the computer-based test. And then the IELTS is divided into four sections. There's speaking, there's reading, there's listening, and there's writing. And they are all timed. Each of them, like, they don't write the speaking the same day. You have to choose a test date for your speaking separately. And the other three sections will be done the same day. So from my experience, when I registered, I was not really like that confident, but I was trying to check the deadline too so that I could get my result before it was time for the application. So I think there's this fear everybody has about the IELTS because I was asking myself, yes, you could speak English, so why are you still scared? But based on some people's experience, they will tell you, oh, it was like this and it was like that. So I just like pushed myself, okay, I have to do this and I need this. I can't keep
Mhm.
procrastinating. And
Yeah.
I registered for it. You have to register on their website, the ios.org website, and you
Mhm.
choose. I got an option for choosing the speaking date. I think 2 days to my the date for the other sections. But after choosing the date, I think a week later, because you always have to check your emails when you do these registrations, check your
Yeah.
spam so you don't miss any information. Yeah. So I think a week to the exam or the same week, they sent me an email that I have to do the speaking test the day to the next, the day that I'll do the next sections. I was thinking I'll do it like on Thursday, because the exam was
Yeah.
on a Saturday, the other sections. I thought I'll do it on a Thursday, then rest on Friday to prepare for Saturday. But they pushed
Yeah.
it to Friday, and the other sections were for Saturday. So I had to prepare. I generally used different YouTube, some YouTube videos. Everybody will tell you, okay, use J, IELTS J, use this one, use Leave, and the
Just
rest.
just a
So I
minute.
also
Just a minute. Just a minute.
okay,
I want to ask a question first before you continue. Uh,
okay, okay,
I think that it's very important. You made mention of the four parts, and there is a speaking
yeah,
part. So I was thinking that
yes,
usually the speaking part comes last. So you have the option to choose when you want the speaking part or what. I was thinking that I kind of know that usually it was like you have the written part, the listening part, and the whatever part, and then you have about two
okay.
days to prepare for the speaking part. So yours, you could kind of choose when you want the speaking part or something.
So yes, I had to choose. I think there were just two options, and there was no option. I didn't see. Okay, from because I was in a group to some people, I think they did their reading, writing, listening, and did speaking later on. But
Hmm.
for the option, for the one I saw, the options I had, it was either to do the speaking 2 days to the other sections or the speaking a day to the other sections. I didn't see the option of doing it later. I think
Ah,
maybe they just shuffle it. Yes, I think they shuffle it.
okay, okay,
They
okay,
shuffle.
okay. Because I think that was the traditional way. So let's go a little bit behind. So first of all, just for the viewers to understand that in this IELTS exam, there is a minimum pass rate that is accepted by most schools. And you made mention of something which I want to kind of emphasize to all my viewers that the IELTS has two different kind of exams. You talked about the academic and the professional. And just to
Yeah.
emphasize, if you are coming to study, you have to choose the academic, right?
Yes, you have to choose academic.
Okay, so that, and I'm sure that's what you also took. You took the academic
Yes,
IELTS.
yes, I did.
Okay, so
Yes.
can you go ahead and kind of, there are different sections. Let's say I want to write the IELTS exam. I want you to kind of make me to know what is like, what am I, what I'm expecting, what are the things that are kind of, let's say in the listening part, this and this
Uh,
and this comes on. How many minutes do you have for in each part and all those things?
okay. So basically, I think experience is the best teacher. So I'll be speaking from experience. For
Mm-hmm.
the speaking, it was 20 minutes.
Okay.
Though when you're there, to look like it's more than 20 minutes, but it's for 20 minutes. So
Mm-hmm.
you go in there, you make sure you have, first off, if you want to write your IELTS, you must have your international passport because that
Yeah.
is what they use for the registration. Yeah, so you have to go on time before the exam, at least 30 minutes, 1 hour, depending on where you're coming from to your IELTS exam location. So it
Yeah.
was for 20 minutes. When you get in there, it's just you do a brief introduction. Sometimes I think for my practice sections I did, the way they do the introduction differs. They might ask you, oh, may I know you? And where you have to explain plenty, the details about yourself, what you like, and then they ask you, oh, what is your name? Which you have to just state your name and don't say more. Yes, and then they ask you basic questions just to know about you, what you like, about where you stay. Those are they mostly ask questions about, oh, where do you live, how is your area, and those kind of things. Then there's the second part because it's divided into kind of three parts. The first part is just about basically knowing you, a brief introduction. Then the second part is called the one that they give you a cue card. They give you a question, tell you to write it out, give you like a minute to go through the question, and then they will now give you time to talk. So that
Okay.
one I think is basically, yeah, it's mostly a topic. They can give you a topic, something personal, or maybe something like I was asked firstly about flowers, the
Yeah.
kind of flowers I like, and I don't know, in Africa, maybe we are not really flower people, so I didn't really give details in that. Well, I was asked about flowers, the
Mm,
kind of flowers, and what some flowers signify. Maybe why people give some flowers in different occasions, or what it signifies. Then
mm,
there was a part where I was asked about a mini mart I usually shop from around my area. What is it like? So this part you have to really, because the person asking you the questions doesn't know anything about it. So you really need to give a convincing detail, create pictures in their head where they know and flow with you and know what you're talking about. I think
yeah.
in that second section, yeah, in the second section, it's advisable to continue talking till the person asking the question or the examiner tells you to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's assumed that if you talk and you pause and maybe you don't have enough to say, it's as if you've not done anything. So you need to
Mm-hmm.
get more details. So that when they give you that time to go through the questions, really need to bring out points.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say they use imaginations. They don't really give stories of what happened. They just say something as long as you're saying what is correct and the rest. Then I
Mm-hmm.
noticed you really have to use some vocabulary. It's not like you have to overthink it and be speaking plenty grammar. You have to be
Mm-hmm.
as make it as simple as possible, but at least they should know that your pronunciations, accents are not really necessary. Just let them understand what you're saying because some people tend to say, oh, maybe since it's IELTS, let them speak plenty English and maybe use
Mm-hmm.
accent. And at the end of the day, the examiner doesn't even understand what they are saying.
That's
So
true.
yeah, after that, yeah, so after that, I think that was for 2 minutes. Then
Yeah.
the third section, they ask you some other subjective questions based on the second question they gave to you. I think
Mm-hmm.
because they were asking me about shopping and market, they started asking me about global market, global economic market,
Yeah.
about buying outside your country, and you know that
Mm-hmm.
has to do with exchange rate, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe even yeah, and all that exchange rate taxation, why people don't buy outside, or why that kind of thing. So the second section has a linkage to the third section. It's just like a subsection. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, you have to just be composed. Composure is very important. You maintain eye
Yeah.
contact. It's just
Mm.
20 minutes, but yeah, you have
Yeah.
to be very precise with that your 20 minutes. Yes. That's for the
You know,
second section.
you talking. I took the IELTS 2010. That's
Mm,
like 14 years ago, and I remember quite well, very well, when they asked during my speaking session. I was asked to
mm.
talk about the kind of colors, and back then I
Okay.
was still in Cameroon, and then I just
Right.
looked at the whole thing and I just said, okay, I'm going to talk about a color, so just choose a color, and I chose green. And what I noticed was that at that time, I don't know how it's been done at the moment, but at that time,
Yeah.
it's kind of recording. So whatever you say, the examiner
Yeah.
is just there
Yeah.
nodding his head and all those things.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
So everything is
Uh-huh.
being recorded. So the more you
Mm.
speak, the more you kind of they have an idea of your vocabulary. They kind of have
Yes.
more idea about how well you speak. So I'm encouraging you guys, whatever topic it is, you don't have to be an expert in, like you said, taxation. They were
Yes.
asking you about those things. You don't have to be an expert in all those things, but you just have to speak kind of fluently. And of
Yes.
course, it's easy to say don't be nervous, but you have to be calm,
Mm.
because once you are
Mm.
nervous, you tend to make more grammatical errors and all those things,
Yes.
and at the end it reduces points. So, and like she said, it's just 20 minutes for the speaking part, and then after that, what happened?
Yeah, the part you mentioned about the examiner, yes, she kept nodding and smiling. At the point, she might even be carried away as if you're answering all the questions correctly,
Mm,
but don't be carried away because you have to make sure you're answering correctly at least to an extent.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think after that, she just said, "Oh, thank you for coming," and that'll be all for that bit.
Mhm.
And then that was that for that day. And I signed out. Yeah, you always make sure you sign out and even when to register you so that it will be taken to record that you were there for the exam.
You are there.
And I
Mhm.
left there. So the next day was for the other three sections. I had to go on time due to some environmental sanitation they do in Nigeria and the rest. So the exam was supposed to start by 9, but because there will be no movement due to that sanitation, I had to leave before 7. So we're there. 6:30. Almost everybody was there, and then
Mm-hmm.
they started taking records. I think for the check your passports, make sure. I think I went to there was something I noted. Some people are saying I should get the pen. There's a pencil, or the pen that they said is like a pencil. Writing most times you might make mistakes and then you decide to erase. And some people say we
Mm-hmm.
should go with pencil, but the
Yeah.
examiners refused to allow us going with pencil. They told us no
Good.
pencils. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of yeah, they told us no pencils. That kind of threw me off the edge a little because all my mind I was like in writing in case I make a mistake, how do I correct and I didn't want too much cancellations. Yeah, so they did the whole thing, checked our passports, and then we entered for the exams. So yeah, we started with listening. For listening, I think I prefer when I was practicing, I had to get a headset. This headset I have on now. I got it because of IELTS exam. Yeah, because I think if you practice with a headset, you tend to because when you get there, they'll still give you a headset. That's how they do the exam. They'll give everybody headsets. They'll tell you to check to make sure there's no echo or crackling sound. Because once they play
Have to go there with their own headset.
the exam, yeah, can you hear? I repeat that, please.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you don't have to take your own headset with you. They'll give you headset
No,
there
no,
at the
no, no,
exam.
no, no, no. There was a headset on everybody's desk. That's how
Okay.
they put it. There was a headset. Yeah,
Okay.
so they told us to fill instructions. Instructions are very, very, very important because everybody, I think everybody has a candidate has a code and everything. So you make sure you fill all those things so you get your result and there'll be no mix up and everything. So they gave us
Mm-hmm.
instructions and then that headset, we had to test the headset. So they told us
Yeah.
if you hear any crackling sound, you need to indicate immediately. Don't assume it's just normal issue so that when they start playing they will not think they are not going to respond to you. So we
Yeah.
did the whole testing and checking for the headset and then we started. So basically, if you practice listening a lot, you know how it goes. Uh, some advice will be don't dwell on one question if you didn't really get it. You have to move on because if you dwell on one question, they are saying more things, and you just get at the end of the day, you notice you didn't even feel in most of the things, and you just it will really disorganize you. So you need to go with the flow. If you think you've
Mm-hmm.
missed one, you can just continue. Yeah,
Mm.
they have one or two pauses at the beginning of every question, every section. Because I think some are more than one word and a letter ahead. So there's always an instruction of okay, go through the question first. In that part, I would advise because I noticed something about listening. If you're done and you go through your answers, you notice that the words rhyme. It's just as if you're making a sentence. If there's a word that is not correct, you notice the sentence is not complete or it's incorrect. So that's the right practice for the listening. So you have to just go with the flow. Make sure you get them carried along to the end of it. It's for 40 minutes for the listening. So they did all that, and then once we are done, they took the answer script. Okay, no, they didn't take the answer script from us because at the back of the answer script, that's where we did the writing. Okay, no, that's where we did the reading. It was the same
Okay.
answer script for the reading and listening. Yeah, so you just flip to the other side to, but they'll take the answer sheet, and we were writing the answers at first when we're listening on the answer on the sheet that contains the questions. You
Questions.
fill
Yeah.
them in. Then later, when after the exam, after the listening to the audio, they now told us to transfer the answers to the
To
answer
the.
sheet.
Yeah.
So I noticed there were some people that because after that they took that question sheet and some people were still filling. So to avoid confusion, because you think, okay, you're now trying to fill in the words because you're still with the answer sheet. You've already written those things in that question paper and they've taken it. So I think maybe when they might be going through it, they'll be noticed you didn't fill these things. So it's either you ask somebody later to fill them up. That was kind of
Yeah.
tricky. So I tried not to, yeah, I tried not to ask questions or add anything again apart from what I've written in that
What?
question sheet they took with the,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I tried not to fill in anything again. So that was for 40 minutes for the listening.
For the
So
listening.
give you time to go
Yeah.
through it when, yes, 40 minutes.
So very, very, very important point, and I just want to reiterate what you said, and I think that is a key thing when it comes to listening. Most people once
Yeah.
the you listen and you kind of missed something, just continue, because if you want to stay there and be trying to
Yeah.
figure out what was it and everything, you have missed it. So once you miss something, okay, that's gone.
Yeah.
Just catch up for the next one, because if that is a key, I think one of the keys in passing
Yeah.
listening, and of course all the tips that Choma has been giving, I think they are very, very, really, really helpful. Yeah. So what about the reading? How did you go about it?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Of the reading, I won't like the reading was bogus because there's a lot of comprehension passages, and uh, I did a quick revision before I left that morning for my exam, and I got, for reading you have to be very good with scanning and skimming because you have to just go through something and be able to get information quickly and all that because of the timing, reading was for I think it was 50 minutes. Because of the timing, you think there's time, but there's no time because each passage is very bogus. So before you done with this passage and go to this passage and this passage. So what I learned was once you get a passage or you go through a passage, you need to pick up important topics. It might be a location of a place, it might be a date, might be because there's always questions that comes related to that. So it makes it easy. What I did was I just underline every key important thing and all that. Because
Mhm.
at that period it was looking as if you're wasting time, but it will really help to answer the questions because after underlining key points, factors, let me say dates, names of persons, important topics like that. When I got to the question, it made it easy for me to answer those questions because I just go to what I've underlined. Maybe they're asking me, okay, what is the name of this person that built the bicycle, for example? Because I think one of my passages was about the invention of bicycle. So I went to
Okay.
those things, keynotes or keywords I underlined, and just saw, oh, this person invented bicycle, and that was it. So it will look
Mhm.
like you're wasting time, but it helps later on because when you think you just want to read, usually before I just feel I will just okay, I'll go to the question first. Okay, what is this? I now go to the passage and start reading. That was what I was doing before, but that ends up wasting your time, and there's no time. But the clock is always fast in that situation. I don't know why. So it's better you underline key important topics. So what you do is you just underline them, then you now go to the question, then you now go back to what you've underlined, check through and see if any of your important points are part of the question. It makes it easy. I think
Mhm.
that really helps me to be able to meet up. Even if I think when I got to the last passage, it was 20 minutes, so I couldn't do that again. I had to now use
Mhm.
skimming and scanning for that because there was no time for me to start underlining. But it really helped. It really helped, and it's
Let,
very good to always read instruction. Okay,
okay,
I heard.
so what you did was that you first of all just scan through the page, the passage, because
Yes,
people kind of
yes, yes,
is wrong sometimes when they say reading comprehension. They want to read everything in detail, every line, and then before they
yes,
come to answer the question, the time is already limited. So like you said, it is kind of scanning through, right? And when you see something important, you
mm,
underline. And so you kind of
yeah,
you said something so interesting that I want to ask. Like, so you went through the passage before
mm,
answering the question, or you kind of looked at the question and then go into the passage. And so how did you navigate that?
you know. I think that going through the question kind of slows you down because you might be number one for, you might be on number one question for 10 minutes where you're trying to look for the answer. But I went through
Hmm.
the passage first before going to the
Yeah.
question. And my going through the passage was, let me get an idea of, okay, what is, because in every passage you see a subheading. That is what the passage is about. They'll tell you, okay,
Yeah.
invention of bicycle. Then you now come to the passage. So what I was doing was not just scanning, like I said, I was underlining keynotes, anything that has to do with that invention. Not like I'll go and underline history. History is not important. The key ones, it might be the invention date, it might be the name of or the type of bicycle, those kind of things.
Hmm.
So I did that first before going to the question. I didn't check the question first. So after doing that, I'll now go to the question. Then that question now I'll now refer back to the words I've underlined to now match them. So it was really helpful. It was really helpful because another thing, like I said, is reading instructions because you have to read instructions before you answer the question. You don't mix everything up because that when I was doing my practicing for let me go back to listening, it really made me to get wrong answers. Sometimes they will say just put A to J, and I'll be busy writing words instead. That was when I was practicing. That's why it's good to read the instructions. You know, to read the instruction, to know what they want of you. Because IELTS, you have to give them what they said, not what you think.
Not what you think.
Yeah, Helen.
Yeah,
So for
yeah,
IELTS, you have to give them according to the instruction. It's always good to follow
yeah.
instructions, yes.
So, like you've emphasized, instruction, instruction, instruction. Let's go to the next one. Well, let's talk about writing. So, how was the writing? How did you prepare for it? Was it easy? I think writing is usually most often the most easiest, depending on the topic.
Yes,
Was it easy?
it was for me. Writing was the part I was kind of worried about because I was worried about graphs and all those info charts and the rest. But luckily for me, they gave me a topic on map, so it was
Mhm.
easy. Yeah, it was easy to an
So,
extent. Yes.
how
So
is the
because
map like?
map is not too complicated.
So, was it like a map reading?
They gave me they did like okay, no, it was not. Let me say, okay, I think that question was on, okay, they gave a diagram to say, okay, this is how this library was in the year 2000. Let me say, they'll say the chairs were here, the bookshelves were here, the exit door was here ahead. Then this is the library now in the year 2024. Maybe you see
Mhm.
that the things are not the same again. Maybe they've reshuffled, obviously. The library, maybe the bookshelf is somewhere else, or maybe there's no bookshelf at all ahead. They will now tell you, okay, compare these two diagrams and just give the significant things that you see. For that map reading, you don't have to write everything word for word. You have to pick the things that are significant or important to put down
Mhm.
in your when you're writing. Okay, you now say, okay, maybe in the year 2003, this thing was here and this thing was on the
Ah,
left side. You have to use a conjunction center, word ahead, those kind of things. That was just more of comparing. But I think that comparing uh, thing for the map, you need to know how to put your words
yeah.
together to put it down.
Stuff
That's
like it was adjacent and it was
then
opposite
the part
and
two.
right. Okay. Wow. So the writing was not
Yes, yes,
really
exactly. Yes.
into you.
You do have.
So okay,
No,
let's
no. I think the part two was the one that because I think that part one writing. Mm,
okay. So please just give me a general. How did you prepare for
yeah.
the exam? So that those who are preparing should know how to prepare for
Mm.
this exam. And I understand you got a good, very good grade. I don't know if you want to say it publicly, but you had an excellent grade. And please, I want you to just tell the viewers how you prepared for this exam and how do you, if you were to write the exam again, what would you do differently?
Mm. Okay. I did prepare. I did prepare. I was preparing off and on before. There was one that was last year, but not too serious. But I think the day I registered for the exam was I think that's gone on. Even if I say what I said, I would
So, guys, I'm sure you grabbed a lot of good things in regards to this discussion today. We've talked about how to prepare for this exam. We've talked about Choma was about telling me how she prepared for the exam before she went off. But I'm going to, if you want to have a one-on-one discussion on how to prepare for this exam, you can tap get to me and I will link you up with Shoma on how on everything that you need to prepare for this exam. Remind you that IELTS now is not only used in Finland but in many other countries. And if you want me to assist you in your application, my friend, my brother and sisters, you need the IELTS so that it helps me to get the best school possible for that you need. And there are lots and lots of schools upcoming or upcoming applications that are they need the IELTS, and it would be good too for you to have the IELTS exams ready. So Guys, I hope this has been useful. I hope you've benefited a lot and lot of things. Sorry that we could not pull through the interview, but I'm sure next time we will do much better. It's just the internet and there's nothing we can do as of now. So guys, please, 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 if it's your first time watching my channel, do well to subscribe, like the channel, and of course you can share to as many people as possible. I will be live in coming days, so guys, please join me live and let's discuss on more several things. Nice that you came. Nice having you today. I hope to see you soon. So stay blessed and ciao.